Deep in the twisting space of the cosmos, far from the mechanical planes of order, two cogs shift in perfect synchronicity. This is the realm of Zahndomhan, ushered into darkness by the goddess Etalik. On the northeastern coast of the Malagon continent lies the jewel of the genie, Jiomackian. Its markets are filled with rare imports, wealth, and shaded alleys. We follow now a humble pilgrim who never thought he'd find himself here, making the very darkest deal. Tales of the Cog, Episode 6. In Olden, less civilized days would have led to nations crumbling.
And you say this is a guarantee, Mr. Felsh?
Nothing in life is a guarantee, but this is a done deal, Mr.
I am a simple pilgrim. You may refer to me as thus.
I've heard a song about a pilgrim wandering Jiomackian city. You probably wouldn't like how it ends.
Some temptation and loss of virtue, I'm sure.
No, I believe the tidesmen empty his pockets and throw him into the ocean.
Charming. Well, I don't believe that will be necessary, Mr. Felsh, as I have pretty much had my pockets emptied by your done deal already. I would prefer a guarantee of, carriage.
No need for such euphemism here, friend. Under the shadow of the Ammonite lighthouse, you can say that you're looking for a ship to transport you to Verencipit quite freely. Deadly illegal to seek the cursed continent in backwaters and under tyrants. But in Jiomackian, simply business.
Simply business.
We all profit here. Rising tide lifts all boats, and I've seen a married do that for free. Now, when I first received your letter, you said that I should be trying to gain you passage for 2. Has this changed?
No, I simply do not want to introduce my young colleague to the culture of a market such as this.
I see. Well, this is good, as I would not be offering a return of investment whether they came or not. I will mark out your writ of port for 2, as we have agreed, and seal it, and your signature.
What sort of vessel is it?
You've not had the Kashinda's fortune to get the Queen of Caleb's pleasure barge, but I've sent other travellers on much worse. You're on the Copperhorn Ram. It's a Gadprig merchant ship, gems to the Spoke Archipelago in return for spices and silks.
Gadprig. So it's dwarven. Won't I appear somewhat suspicious?
It was probably dwarven folk initially, but now the crew is whoever boards. The bosun is a devil touched, last I saw. Besides, no one will be looking for you out on the waves. And if they are, you're not the only passengers I've arranged.
We're not.
Here's your writ for 2. The Copperhorn, she's down at the East Docks, and she'll be off at Cogdawn, so you might as well get your colleague and you settled.
Indeed. Hope my gold spends well.
There isn't any I've met that doesn't.
Ethina?
Is that you, Your Grace?
Yes. You may remove your eye covering.
Do I have to?
We are to board the ship soon.
Your Grace, I thought you were to meet with the man who sold you the tickets, and we would take us aboard?
I thought so too, but it seems we are one of many passengers on the vessel. And yes, I know you do not mean to, but I have told you to stop referring to me correctly. I am not Your Grace, not anymore at least. A few fellows I've needed to use a name, I've said I'm called Pilgrim, so Pilgrim will be who I am.
Yes, Your Grace. Pilgrim.
You'll get used to it. Can you walk?
Yes, my legs have quite healed, sir.
A near dock near the sea market.
You must admit, Captain, it is an awful table of time.
Aye, but an accurate one.
You've missed entire days. Your course will be entirely absent on 6-mon, 36 of Torio.
We will be sailing.
But from where? You've already been generous with the previous week you've allocated, so it shan't be from inclement protection.
Pardon me, sirs, a second. Are you Captain Dorhart of the Copperhorn Ram?
I be he.
I have a writ of passage here from Mr. Felsh.
Captain, the Copperhorn is not listed for passengers. This will require a new list of inventory to be submitted to the Guild of Tides, and Mr. Titan will need to review it. Perhaps then you can amend this to be a more logical table of time.
You wish to get Mr. Titan involved, the Dockers Union.
I would not wish to, no. But I find you've taken passengers, and you've obviously submitted false charts yet again.
Would you be settling for not having Mr. Titan involved, and by you taking the bribe I'd be paying Mr. Titan?
Clear seas and fine sailing, Captain Dorhart. Enjoy your voyage.
I'm incredibly sorry, Captain Dorhart. I thought
Felsh should have been clearer about not belting out your intention. Hand me the writ.
I thought it was a
The reimbursement stamped upon this writ is more than enough of an apology, Mr. Pilgrim. Bilquist, 2 aboard!
Aye, Captain. 2 aboard.
In for copper, in for gold, there's fortune to be made in famous precepts, I'm told. In for copper, in for gold, there's worse things to be found at sea.
What's that singing, Your Grace? Pilgrim?
That's the men working, young'un. Old gad-prick songs. Helps them keep rhythms. Pull the ropes and such. Now you, Mr. Pilgrim, this is the 2nd deck hold. But all you need to know is this is our passenger quarters. You've paid enough to not work, I hear, so to me, you're just a bag of cinnamon twigs and half a bag of sugar. Stay in the hold, but if you hear 4 bells and a call for all able bodies, that means your life will depend on it too. Other than that, the hold is yours. Don't touch anything the quartermaster must account for.
Maybe get some sleep now.
Hold is yours, Pilgrim. Take Edelic's nap for all I care. If you can sleep through the singing of dwarves, you may be more cut out for this work than I.
Pilgrim?
Yes?
That Bilquist person, they had a tail.
Yes.
And horns.
Yes. Devil touched. There's a fair few of them in places. Cities like Jiomackian City we've been in today.
Wild.
I'm told. In for copper, in for gold, there's worse things to be found at sea.
No need to start, my dear fellow. I am merely another haulage of carriage of this vessel edge.
Ah. Yes. I apologize.
Your name, my good man?
Call me Pilgrim.
Wise indeed, though. Call me Prospector then, for I have a prospect to look over some oars once we reach our hallowed shore.
Ah, yes. I've heard of the gold. Not sure what to make of it. Wait, how is Ethina?
Little Pilgrim. She still sleeps warm, harvest meal sound. She seems awfully sick. It's not the dust rose disease, is it?
No, nor does it hop from the infected like it. No need to worry.
But yes, sir, I've heard of the gold, and the silver, and the lead, and the tin. Probably the platinum, too, deep enough. I know what to make of it. It's the sister's honest truth. Seen them minted in Kalev myself.
In Kalev?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. It's how the old bear of Kalev paid for the last war, truthfully. You've heard the dangers?
Of course. I blazed out into the danger's veracity, too.
As well you should. As well you should. But the truth beneath them is they cloud the truth of it. The truth is the hidden truth, I mean. So I suppose you can say it's a lie.
Yes, Mr. Prospector. I understand your meaning.
They tell us of this very insipid fall, of the crumbling of this great state and empire, and give us these copper-piece little moralist tales. The dead and the gribblies. It's poppycock. Because if the average person knew what money they're making out there, that's why Kushinda will await Rongel in victory.
Rongel, the Djinn Lord of Jiomackian.
He gives the honest creature opportunity to see it for themselves, unblinded by the Malagon elite. Not the nobles of yore, but these new power-holding so-and-sos.
Isn't Rongel the most wealthy singular person upon the cog?
Yes, so he knows of their games. Being a genie folk, he's an outsider, you see.
Your Grace? Pilgrim?
Good morning, little Pilgrim. The Prospector and I have just been talking to your master here about the truth of some things.
The truth of some?
Good Ethina, Mr. Bilquist. You put more stake.
I've been there, albeit not close. Comte Malagon is not a hallowed place.
I do not wish to stop in Conte Malagon, or any of that little coastal colony they've settled. I need to be at the mountains in the middle.
You have a map, Mr. Prospector?
Well, paid nearly 50 claws for it. Last of what I had from my previous employment. It's the most accurate as it can be.
There's a mountain there, you say?
Clear as my nose or your horns.
Might be right. Don't remember seeing it from the shore.
Mr. Bilquist, what do they call the colony?
The Colony of the Living is the name the sailors tell me. Comte Malagon is supposed to be the whole coast, but they've been put into the point.
Is it called the Living? Because
they're fighting the dead. So I've heard.
Nonsense! Sheer balderdash of an order. Look here. Conte Malagon, Vitrekport, Braken, New Ragenloth. It's practically the whole coast. There's no undead shambling that could break a line of towns like that.
Well, I can't speak of the last two, but I've seen with my own orbs that Vitrekport is half the size since 1113. Map must be getting behind a bit, Prospector. There was a horrible bit of business there.
I've not paid 50 claws for a town wall charter. Couldn't care a whit. As long as mountains stay where they ought.
what was the business, Mr. Bilquist?
I don't ken if it's right to say. You're a scooch too young to tell. I wouldn't tell a cabin boy, per as exemplar.
It's fine. We're both going there, bosun. Best not be under delusion.
The delusion is being feared of shadows here over the cogsy. Tell us all, so when I sit on my throne of tin, I can scoff of it.
Quite. Well, I heard of this from a trader friend of mine who sells the wolf pelts out of Comte Malagon. He says they scratch the doors every night, so he hasn't had to track since he left Ilanik. Anyway, if the idea of wolves every night at your doors and paneless windows isn't enough for you...
Is it not wolves? Nah, lump them. I've sprung up from an ethylic sleep and daggered a wolf mother above me.
Well, have this then. So he was telling me the goddesses can only do so much out there. That the dwindling of the cursed epoch, as they call it, never really stopped, as you'd hear it.
To keep us from your...
Can you please keep your gold-grubbing incantations to yourself for at least the end of this here tale? It's not over long, and the young lady asked for illumination on the business I mentioned. Now, thank you. So, times get tight. In the long autumns they have there, no summer to be found on the cursed continent, so I hear. Just a budding dew of spring, and then the leaves turn. Vitteric Port found itself in quite a fashion. I heard they make do with apples when the wheat just doesn't grow. Maybe slaughter a pig if it's going that way. So, 1113 was that kind of year, and the pigs had been slaughtered to survive the winter of 1112. As the trader tells it, some of the fishers got together and called out for something other than the goddesses to help them, and happily received an answer. Something old. As old as the cogs sea heard them pleading, looking out at the grey waves and the mist. And for a boon, it gave them a word, a mighty word, not found in a Zug library or in the caverns of the rune keepers of Lum. The fishers knew that this word was for their eyes alone, as it hurt to see it in writing and was even more painful to be said aloud. When they said the word to their tables in front of their families, they gained fish and sea greens, wheats and ales, gruels for the mornings, and the finest of apples. Nothing beyond what the land could have given them, but for the long autumns. It was a bounty of the highest kings. The fishers returned to their wave-watching and gave thanks. No one, not my trader friend certainly, knows for how long this covenant was kept, how many meals this word given to the starving provided. But the thing beyond the waves, it knew what it wanted. Some of the fishers awoke themselves, saying the word. Some found eventually it was all they'd think of a night's sleep. Now, this and all this is how the story happens, but we cannot be assured of the word. One of the fishers' wives had a widow friend. This widow wife had been drug under in tide, and now the widow had her and her dead wife's little babies to care for, with no joy from the fields. So, the wife of the fisher, being a clever sort, told the widow the word, wrote it down, gave her the instructions, as all of us upright cogfolk hate to see another suffer. The widow was no different. She knew an old man whose children had left and told him the word. Soon a fisher was hauling in the cold water yields and heard the word, openly spoken in the marketplace. Soon people in the North District were erecting the word on broad banners, and each of them hurt their eyes to look upon. Then one of the fishers, some say the one who first prayed to this wish spirit beneath the cog sea, he awoke one day and found the word was all he could say. He stumbled into the street, unable to silence himself, shouting the word over and over. One by one, all that heard him began saying it. It took the words out of sentences and muddled the minds. Soon the whole northern side of the town was saying, in a rhythmless pattern. Some clawed at their mouths, some wedged leather and rocks in their mouths, but bit through them. The fishers were possessed by some madness, or as my trader friend said, a first and final moment of clarity. First, these gibbering fishers barricaded the bridges. Then they emptied the barrels, and even all the lanterns of whale oil, and covered their homes and themselves in it. They struck tinder to themselves and set it all ablaze. Some crawling from house to street to make sure their fires spread. Those who had become completely of the word had no time or mind to flee. Muddled and confused, they burnt up with it. So, from your map, Mr. Prospector, here to here, that's gone. Kashinda taken and burnt a cinder. Saw it myself. When the rest south side of town came to help and broke the barricades, on the bridge they found a charred corpse. Impossible to tell whomst. And in the ashes of its own blackening legs it had scrawled out, "Do not speak, do not write, do not trust the word."
Five for Fend.
Mr. Prospector?
A fine tale, yes. It could have been a madman on the bridge, and the fire started by a mule kicking a torch, though.
Oh, of course it could be. Now, these fine people paid for true carriage, but you, Mr. Prospector, will be needed above decks. A nice long time in the light.
Mr. Bilquist, you are needed.
Come above, Prospector. You'll earn all that gold you've staked upon.
Pilgrim?
I don't know if that was true, Ethina, but it shouldn't concern us either way.
No, Your Grace. The sailors are singing a different song today.
Your wife despite his blatant nature, but first you must fetch out for me the tooth of a wild vampire. Like the sails and man the line, the wind wails like a whippet. What possessed the man by Six's grace to trek to Baron Prisset? A paladin of Leomilo was both the brave and pious, that pilgrims came to kiss his feet and make him sign papyrus. The clerics of his order, just in truth, they grew to envy. They sent him out to seek acclaim in hopes they'd never see him. Like the sails and man the line, the wind wails like a whippet. What possessed the man by Six's grace to trek to Baron Prisset? They say the dead will rise again. They say they never rest well. They say they come back to the cog as regular as church bells. My beautiful bride-to-be took flight to seek her fortune. She set down on Etolite night, and one day I will join her. One day I will join her. One day I will, one day I will, one day I will join her. Oh, hike the sails and man the line, the wind wails like a whippet. What possessed the man I Six's grace to track the Baron Prisset?
Ether dawn and dusk become very similar when all you see is the cogs see each day. All around the sky and the blue. If not for the knowledge of the constellation my family named, I would not know how long we'd been on this boat.
It has been 8 days and 4 hours, and the captain will only have it called a ship.
Quite. Pass me my knife.
Afternoon. Get below decks. It's too hot this near the axis hole. Leave for 2 hours.
The rigging is some foolishness, but it'll keep in health when it's time for me for digging. Peeling potatoes, Mr. Pilgrim?
Indeed, Mr. Prospector. I will still make myself useful, even if I paid for much of the voyage.
Good for your ward to save her strength for the disembark.
Thank you, Prospector.
Mind if I join you? The sailors are going to pull a day's sleep for the 2-hour.
Mr. Bilquist, I'm glad of you to come down. I've been meaning to have a word.
I still do not wish to join your gold hunt. Pass me that tankard.
No, I was just thinking about your tale. Vitterek dock and the word and that.
Vitterek port?
Well, I thought about a rumour that I'd heard, and whether you could, as they say, verify it as its own credibilities.
I am not a collector of stories, but I've heard a few.
The fellow I paid the 50 claws.
For the map, yes.
Well, I told him the mountain. Here, listen. That's the one I seek. That's the one I first heard about. The irons and the leads and the tins. He wished me the best of luck. Said he knows himself it rolls in the silt. Just like gold used to roll down from the lump before the dwarfs took it all.
Careful now.
It was their stake to do so. I wouldn't to grumble that, sir. Well, he says that I'll be well and good, as long as I don't stumble too far northwards. I went about, as you've heard, Mr. Pilgrim, went about refuting the notion. Not a notion, I cotton. Well, this fella, he didn't get a rile to me, didn't get a worry on. He calmly said, just avoid the land where the dead don't know they're dead yet.
The shuffling dead? The zombie?
No, so I began. Well, you know, I refuted. But he said I ne'er had to worry about a zombie. Zombies came in waves from the southeast, and it'd be rare to encounter the horde. Now, I was at this point, I shall say, a disquiet ran through me. So casually this old soul spoke, like speaking of leaving a summer for the elk close season. Still, hogwash. But I asked if not the zombie, what then? He said the Middlelands have a curse, a true curse upon them. And like you, Mr. Bilquist, he didn't take my refutations for a lick of a cake top. He says when he had first had the map drawn up, the cartographer had put in a town, going off historical records. A fair assumption for land we don't get message from. But when the party came back, and he said, I'll have you know, he said they came back with a single ore of platinum the size of a man. When the party came back 10 years ago, they'd been through Conti Malagon, up the hills, slept in the trees, had their hardships, sure, but the hardships of a traveller, nothing so cursed. And so, the map teller tells me, over the mountains and around here, they come across a town.
Over the mountains?
Abandoned?
Oh, I would hope it would be, at best.
It can't be good.
No, worryingly, no. People, carts, children playing in the street. They hit ground and watched for an hour, worried, because of the ideas that they put in their heads over there.
Yes.
Yes, Prospector, we know how you feel.
But yes, it was, as the map man said, too elaborate to be some kind of trap. So they went down there, tentatively. Spoke with the people. Traded, even. The tavern keeper offered them rooms, but this was a stop too far. They noticed things wrong. When they answered they had come from Jiomackian, the fellows had never heard of such a place. When they said they were from Ringif and Ragenloth and other such places, they asked if they were from nearby Elris. Some said they had family in Grimburn, but didn't know Arangasso. In words of the last war, great troubled them. They camped outside, and in the night they heard a terrible crash. Screams, a noise that they daren't look for. They finally poked their heads out of their lean-to and found the town gone. No wreckage, nothing that could have screamed. Something gleamed in the starlight. It was the coins they traded for, left in the mud. The next morning, the town was back. Not exactly as it was, but like through a veil, like seen through a dream. They then just carried on and made their money and came back.
Seems like that end of your story there really left much to be desired.
Oh, that's the part you object to. That is it?
Yes, the part I know your coin is within you for. You ignored the haunted
But they made their
part.
money.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, please. The men above are sleeping.
The Axis waits for no dwarf. All bells. Up to the gate, come on. All bells.
Above! Above! All hands above! Come about!
The currents of the axis at the center of the cog are unpredictable. The way the center rifles down into the chasm below means that a flow of water can strike with the primal force of Takamul at any time. I begged for Ethina to be kept down, demanded to her that she stay.
Mr. Pilgrim, you are not required.
Mr. Bilquist, I might perish if I didn't, as we all might.
Sheet in!
Captain Dorhart ran back and forth on the upper deck, taking his helmsman's hand and moving the ship's wheel with force and abandon. We lowered the sails and raised them. I was warned the passage from Jiomackian to the Cursed Continent took a boom from the speed of the current's axis hole all the way to being deadly if the crew couldn't navigate the center waters.
Prospector, do you see it? I try not to look now, sir.
Down beneath us, as the rain and spray hit the starboard, I saw the axis hole. A wonder that since I was born the court tutors showed us, diagrammed to us, explained its place in 6 years' plan for the sustaining of the cog. It is a thoroughly different thing to see it. I'm sure countless sailors have seen it, many hundreds of miles away, some like Captain Dorhart choosing to use it like a slingshot against the rolling tides. This reckless behavior had been explained to me too. From a child's mind, I thought it exciting, and then as adulthood took me, I thought it worrisome, but nothing I would need to contend with. Now, beneath the barrels and barrels of salt-brined tide that dissipate into the ether below the cog, I could make up the jammed sails, the splintered wood, the final deadened remains of 1,000 ships that met their doom in the hole that lays as king in the center of our cog sea.
Stand by! Return to a course we have!
Captain.
Took me by surprise, Mr. Bilquist. Goddesses. Undertow was mighty hungry tonight. Still, through the panic, I've put us ahead on the true and plain schedule. Give the boys and girls the pork meat tonight and grog of 2 cups and 3 cups electable. Mr. Pilgrim.
Yes, Captain?
A tradition of us is to celebrate after the worst of the Axis current, and I've made sure the men will be taken with their revels. I will invite you to the table to be away from the hold. They may get rowdy.
Very gracious, Captain.
It extends to you, Mr. Prospector, and of course, your ward. Have cookie be a-ready around 17 bells, Mr. Bilquist.
Aye, Captain.
We haven't had a chance yet to speak, Miss Ethina.
No, Captain.
Dare I ask now, Mr. Pilgrim, why do you wish to make this damned voyage?
It is a personal matter, sir.
Of course, and I don't wish to ever do a pry to a spirit in my care. It's just a moment where I compare my passage takers. Mr. Prospector never quiets himself with his notions, and we will make fine sport of that, and you, however, never speak of it.
Not to me either.
Perhaps if the winds take us to land, I'll be restored of confidence, gentlemen.
Even if it doesn't work out, I could use you both. Teach you to mine, Pilgrim. You can sort the stationaries and how seal works, Miss Ethina, if you do well enough.
Yes, I hear you're unwell. Is the hold a comfort enough?
Yes, your captain, sir. Yes.
It's not for a bargain you go, is it?
Captain?
I know life, in its ways, may seem a bargain could be placed. Bilquist told me you've told of his tale of the fish spirit folk and the spirits of the Middle Lands. I know an old magic, a magic that Sixir herself best thought forgot walks those lands. I thought I'd tell you of my knowings tonight. Hand me that map, Mr. Prospector. Jiomackian to Contamalagon is the route, the legal route and the safest. The cleric ships of Ragenloth cathedrals go a different way, to be sure, but this is the route. Even bold liars try to find this crosswind with us. Old friend of mine was an explorer sailor of a sort. Had settled himself in their age that a small ship, a sloop he could manage with a small crew, one other at the most, and look for the dangers of the ill-sailed cog. They had taken the north route, the one where the tall cog affects the waves and the spoke islands are to be navigated for their rough waters and flowing deposits. Either way, they found themselves rolling the Axis hole as we did today, but for hours and hours, a terrible strain, but a rate of nigh almost 20 knots. When the land was called in the distance, it was the hot lands of the north, the sands that abut the Cog Sea closest to the hole here. They landed, all told and all in good sorts, and found a settlement, around here I suppose it must have been, called Etrabulge, they said. Here almost all those walking the streets were devil-touched, some with flaming horns and wings. True devils, the ones that burst from Bendatin, I'm told. Alive with fear and wonder, my friend found themselves without accosted. Devils filled troughs and hitched horses, devils hammered fences, even devils in devil stores trading devil gold. They found themselves a tavern of sorts, primarily used for the storing of water in the heat. There they saw more cogly dirt folk, if you get me. A dwarf tended the bar, a woman of her late 300s, and traded his ingots for water and an ale. They saw then, lesser devil-touched, the ones with more of a human to them drinking as well. Then a human, or a halfling man of such came in. As they tell it, they were dressed like the finest prince of Adasak. By his sides was a devil attached to his collar, with a golden chain holding a treasure chest that would sink a ship to carry. On the other side, a devil in all the pomp of a scholar in cap, writing and reading with its red-pointed hands the affairs of this princely customer. They brought a bottle of the finest wines and paid in platinum pieces from the chest. The old dwarf barmaid curtsied and showed the rich one to his table, where both of the devils stood behind him as he drank the expensive wine with such a reckless joy my friend couldn't help but envy. When the ancient dwarf returned, my friend made a comment about the rich fellow's luck, but the old woman's face went sallow. She said that in her years she had known how fickle these things were in the scorching hot Northlands. She told of a nomad she had known not 5 years back, one of the natives of the sands whose numbers lowered with every season. This nomad was a tricky fellow, and for years of living well had made a trade of his essence with some local nobility. My friends said when they heard the name of the noble, their blood ran cold and their skin began to prickle like a cold wind met their spine. They'd never heard of the name before, but neither had you until now. Ostrakhan, the Shard.
Oh, yes, that does bear a terrible weight.
Makes me taste copper, your grace.
Not a name I share lightly, but this name I hold in my mind lends a credence to how fanciful a tale of Varincipit can be. Now, for reasons of this bargain, the nomad's essence was around due. Relentless the devils were, the same devils that served him not a day before, now clawed for his throat to extract his soul from the goddesses. But in his tricky ways, he knew it was a risk when he made the pact, and despite the devils being rulers of these Northlands, he knew the sands better than them. Lost them warded himself against their moves, even sent a few back with wounds and buried some in pits and traps. It was the most the people of the scorching north had seen someone resist their payment come.
Good on him. Good to see someone overcome these horrors.
You are more convinced of the horrors now, Mr. Prospector?
I'm sure it's not as common as wolves and bears, sirrah, the good captain says, but we have the devils and Bendatan on an acid night for shores.
Still, the nomad grew weary of the dance, hoping that he could fling himself into Liholimo's gates and the goddess of light would bathe him clean. He had one last errand, you can say. A daughter, here in Etrabulge, who needed the means to continue, and he could pour the last of his ill-gotten bargain wealth into her and then go to the goddess's arms without care. He jukes the last and sneaks through them, returning to his abode that the nomad had placed the old druid magic of the sands that no devil could touch. His once loyal servants brayed at the door for his blood, but he flicked the dirt at them and mocked their bounds. His daughter was there as he had left her, and when he found her, he began to tell of the exploit he had found and how she could have the high life he had bargained his essence for. The daughter didn't run to embrace him, or speak a word. She raised a dagger to her hand and split her palm. The blood covenant was sealed with Ostrakhan, the Shard. Imps and devils sprang forth, ripped the nomad to less than rags for ribbons. His essence found no joy in goddesses' realms and was taken as a brilliant mote by his pursuers to their dread master of the Shard. My friend was shaken, looking at the malice in the eyes of the devil that this rich fellow kept chained to him at the bar. They asked the old dwarf lady how they knew the end of this nomad, how such a misery of a betrayal spread to the streets. The aged woman chuckled ruefully and lifted her palm, where a cut had burned into a sigil scar of glyphs and stars. I was the nomad's daughter, she said. I was only young then, 5 years ago, and I wished as a child does to grow up. She pointed to the wrinkles around her face, her single tooth, her milky eyes, and her thinning wisp of hair. Behold, she declared, the gifts of Ostrakhan.
Stood in the picking rock sky as he was dug out by the grave. I was not old enough for first away, so from below I knew I lived alive. I saw the stars beneath the cave, stillness of the stone-like grave. But deeper beasts of mind I, as wolves dug out by the grave. To the ace that's been a longer slave, as our very skin began to die. I saw the stars beneath the cave. For curiosity, courage we gave. Further down, never wonder why, as deep is dug out by the grave. Now our clan forms a conclave, from the surface said goodbye. I saw the stars beneath the cave, as deep is dug out by the grave.
Mr. Bilquist? Captain?
Over here, Pilgrim.
Ah, Mr. Bilquist. According to the ledgers, we should be landing soon, sir. Will this deep sea fog prevent us? I've never seen the like on Maligan.
Quite the opposite it is. This is the sign of our approach. The mists are ever present, whatever the season. They get thick in Sihal, yes, but not like this. We've grown used to it.
We draw close, then.
Tantalizingly so. I can feel the oar on the wind. I can taste the silt. Ugh.
Pilgrim, can you come to the wheel, sir?
Captain?
Mr. Pilgrim, I need to be speaking plainly. Your ward, she grows weaker every morning, but seemingly more hearty and healthy each night. I mean no offense, but if your girl is some monster of the night's tide, I need to know. We can set you loose on a small rower, and you'll certainly meet land.
No, she's not. I understand your concern, and it is founded. She shares a bond with this cursed continent. My house has ties to it in the long distance, and it has manifested in my ward. We have accepted an exile to pursue this connection, but she is no monster, no beast by moonlight or life drinker. She is more of an oracle.
You have no concern for safety, then? They say even the magics go wrong on those shores.
No. In fact, if it may be allowed, there is a risen Lien tonight in the south. I would like to allow her to fall into the trance of prophecy. You can be assuaged, Captain, and it might provide some benefit to all of us. I intended to do it in private when the coast came near, but you have shared so much more than I expected from our inauspicious beginnings in Jiomackian.
Mr. Pilgrim, Captain, are you quite all right, miss?
Fine, Mr. Bilquist. Thank you.
Mr. Bilquist, if you can sit next to Mr. Prospector. Ethina is perfectly comfortable, but she may need to stretch out as the visions take her.
Take her? Mr. Pilgrim, I am only here by the captain's request. I have no stomach for these sorts of sideshows. I did not take you as a man who would be well suited for the Zagreus circus.
We lose nothing, Bilquist. Jonathan is at the helm, and with the fog broken, we have another clear night of sailing. Let us see why Pilgrim and his ward joined us to begin with.
Aye, Captain.
I knew I was fonder than last, but I am of an empathetic and sensitive sort. Now, if she may know where my claim doth lie, sisters, that would be a blessing and merry mercy.
Please, hush, gentlemen. It is a lot like sleep, but no dreams come, only visions of the far away. Ethina, if you are ready.
Ethina has already departed. You are speaking to the voice of the continent, the red sands of the East Mount.
We approach the shore. Red sands, it is as you told me.
Yes, the link grows ever stronger. I can see you now. See the copper-horned ship, dwarf, man, hellborn.
Hellborn?
As per our mutual endeavor, you may have of me answers to questions about the lands of the Varen.
If the windows lie open.
Take it for what it is, Prospector.
Oh, I shall. Miss Ethina, or Red Sands person. What's past those mountains? The coast ones, past Contimalon.
The lands of the once lived and their cattle. Thousands united by name of blood tithe. Powerless against the sanguine eaters and the politics of silvered rapier. Above them the tombs stand, drifting leathery wings of the hordes of night. Below them a maze of deepest depth, the true death from which few claw away. In low crypts revenants wait for weeping specters to sound the alarms. Holy men from afar are this very second being lured by scraps of the holiest relics of their goddess of light. They cannot content with the shadows that whisper to them with the mortis of the crawling tombs. As the last torch succumbs to the oppression, and the prayer turns unto a muffled squeal above them. Through thousands of tons of old stone, the nightly ball begins for the undisputed masters of the hierarchy of undeath. Soulless monstrosities in dark parlors stand before portraits of their lost nobility, some unable to comprehend their link to the faces frozen in life by a painter's brush. Some more still rejoice in their abandonment of life and its chains of intended morality.
6 years, Hann.
Would that be the southwest coast? The islands and straits?
Yes, Edgar Wattik. Beyond the mountain.
That's my name. I meant more of the plains. The plains beyond
where your metals lie, awaiting you. They might, Edgar Wattik. You might receive everything you've claimed from the Middle Lands. But they have horrors to show you. Less predictable, that what is truly beyond the mountain. You shall miss the days where ghosts were the impediment between you and your gold and tin.
Truly, is Ethina in no pain?
The little sickly girl is not here. She's never truly anywhere. This is our agreement.
What do you mean?
I don't know how long we will have this, so allow me to ask while we have this strong wind blowing your messages. What of the East Shore, our destination?
You're trying to go all the way to the east. That's madness.
Madness for anyone without the protection and favors and boons of my limitless knowledge, Captain Niangrun Dorhart. Not that you earned that rank only by mutiny. Captain.
The East, Red Sands, please.
Oh, Rackham. No, no more of this. The questions are over. Gentlemen, I shall be on deck.
Your Grace? Pilgrim?
Are you all right, Miss Ethina?
Yes, quite fine.
It's nothing more than a deep sleep for her, she's told me.
I see. Well, I hope you know what...
Land ho! Verincipit is in sight. Land ho! Land ho! Land ho! Land ho!
Did I do something wrong, Your Grace?
No, I think you just showed them the validity of our travel.
There you are, Mr. Prospector.
I didn't expect us to land after Etherset.
You get to Verincipit when you get there. Are you excited? Your claim is probably visible there.
Of course, yes. Sisterhood of Goddesses, protect me.
We'll be disembarking you a boat now.
But Captain, I said she was of no danger.
No, this is our accustomed method. A crewman will take boat and land upon that cove.
Why, Captain?
There's no need to dock here.
Many from Comte Malagon may attempt to board us.
Pirates?
No. They're trying to leave with us.
Thank you for the voyage, gentlemen.
The waters are cold. The mist is thick. But the shore of the cursed continent remains a dark spot on our far horizon.
Oh, ye lonely fool, you crossed the Axis Sea. You left your home and now it's blowing droves in store for thee. Oh, ye lonely fool, you swung right past the spoke to seek a fortune you won't find in the land of cursed folk. Oh, ye lonely fool, goddess, yes, she tried, still its wicked ways remain beneath the moon-plucked sky. Oh, you lowly fool, you vile, greedy wretch! Goddesses, forsake your path on your infernal quest.
You've been listening to Tales of the Cog, a Skadi Symphony production. The cast in order of appearance were David Ault as Pilgrim, Fiona Thralle as Felsh, Jess McCoy as Ethina, Conrad Miszuk as Captain Dorhart, Jack Fitzpatrick as Dockmaster, Jude Hodgson Hann as Bilquist, Lou Sutcliffe as the Prospector, and Oliver Morris as the Crewmates. It was written by Jack Fitzpatrick, produced and directed by Oliver Morris, sound design by Jude Hodgson Hann and Oliver Morris, original music by Oliver Morris, featuring Jude Hodgson Hann as the opening narration. For other award-winning audio dramas and more information about the Cog of Zahndomhan, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Cane and Fields. View sights and delights of Zahndomhan via our Instagram at Cogtails. Finally, as they say in Jiomackian, buy the pepper, taste the spice.